I'm sorry, I don't have, are you here for,
I'm Alex Kingston, I'm here with Bonadillo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alex
In
works with
Greg's
Greg.
place.
Yeah.
works for Greg? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Greg did not inform me.
He didn't,
Alex
it was
is
last
on there.
minute.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Welcome everyone. It's a couple minutes past noon. We'll call the meeting to order. I think the first order of business is always the Pledge of Allegiance. Right? Would you mind leading us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. And the next order of business that we have moving on is the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Is there a motion and second to approve the minutes from the April 21st, 2026 meeting?
So moved.
All right, moved by Brett, seconded by Lisa. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any objections? Abstentions? There being none, motion carries. Minutes are approved. Thank you. And I guess before moving on, we just have a quick public announcement. We have one of our long-standing board members, Lisa, who is recently married. So we want to say congratulations to you. Very lucky guy. Absolutely.
I think I'm very lucky too, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay, all right, so moving on. Public comments. What's that?
I'm sure.
Well, it's just this past week, right? When was it?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago, okay. Public comments. Robin, has anyone signed up for public comments?
No, not today.
No? All right, so we will move on. And next we have Kevin Loki. Kevin, will you join us and walk us through the local labor monitoring report, please? And the exemption report as well.
So I have the April report covering our visits between the 1st and 30th of April. We visited 57 sites in April. We had 3 follow-up visits. We checked residency with 798 workers, 4 of which were non-compliant. We had 2 new COMIDA signs delivered to Orchard View LLC, as well as Reedman Properties CS LLC. Any questions? All right, you have a great day.
Take care, Greg.
See you soon.
I think that's the fastest we've ever done, right? Okay. All right, we're blowing through this. All right, so next we'll have the financial report. Greg is not with us today, but we have Mr. Alex Kingston with Bonadillo. So Alex, welcome. Would you please walk us through the financial statements, please?
Sure. Yeah, thanks for having me. So cash remains strong position. We have 1.2 million in checking, 290,000 in Apex checking, and then 3,000 in money markets. Investments, our portfolio, we currently have 12 treasury securities with a maturity value of 17.1 million. And then during April, these holdings generated about 42,000 accrued interest and market value gains. And then the maturities of these stagger through October 2027 to help us out. And then since inception, we've had redeemed about 22 treasury securities with an overall return of 4.6%. And then in our accrued section of our balance sheet, we have 79,000 due to Apex for funding of their program. 123,000, which represents a quarter of the county contract. We accrue that evenly each quarter. And then 400,000 we've reserved for accrued for workforce development commitments across all programs. And then the remainder is distributed pretty evenly across smaller items. Other than that, the balance sheet is pretty in line with our expectations. Now, if we move down to the month results, fee revenue was pretty modest in April. We had 3.7 thousand from Lang & Sons. For our workforce development, we've set aside 8.5 million to date. Of that, about 7.8 has been committed to various programs, leaving about 700,000 available for future. Of the amount that we've committed, 5.5 million has been invoiced to COMIDA so far, and the remaining 2.3 million relates to budget spend that has not occurred as anticipated throughout the year. We have about 2 million or so that's expected to be paid out during the rest of the year and then in early 2027. And then 158,000 are committed funds that ultimately are not gonna be used by those programs, or paid out. And then if we look at the rest of our program, community development, we're currently 265,000 over budget, and primarily those are driven by two items. 150,000 that was paid out to Greater Rochester Visitors Association during April, and then we had another 94,000 grant that was paid out to Rochester Downtown Development Corp during the month. And then in summary, like our net deficit's is a little better than the year-to-date budget was anticipating, primarily due to higher year-to-date fee income, which can be unpredictable, but everything else is generally in line with the budget.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, no
Does
problem.
anyone have any questions for Alex?
So that was timing, the actual, payments to downtown and to, the visitor center?
Yes.
So the
yeah.
timing of it just took things out of kilter, it's not that we're overrunning our budget?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Alex. Before we move on, is Brian on the call?
No, he just
Okay,
texted,
Okay,
his daughter just had a baby
well, I
over
know,
the weekend, and they're like in discharge process right now, so he said if we had a quorum, then
I see.
we could probably do, yeah.
It's
Well, we wanted to,
baby.
wish him congratulations as well.
He was
We've been
willing-
recorded, so congratulations, Brian, if you go back and watch this.
He was
Congratulations.
willing to jump on, but I said
We miss
that's
you.
okay.
Okay, all right, so, moving on, thank you, Alex. Moving on, we get into the project applications. We only have 2 this month, okay? The first of which is Fine Bagels LLC. Anna, would you please do us the pleasure of reading the project summary, please?
Certainly,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Fine Bagels Incorporated, a food manufacturing and retail business, proposes the renovation of 2240 Monroe Avenue in the town of Brighton. This renovation will consist of the building out of a commercial bakery, complete with baking equipment, refrigeration systems, plumbing and electrical upgrades, and food-safe interior finishes. The $400,000 project is projected to create 12 FTEs over the next 3 years. Less than 30% of the total project costs are related to the small retail portion of the business. The applicant is seeking approval of sales tax exemptions only, and the benefit to incentive ratio is 260 to 1.
All right, great, thank you, Anna. I believe we have a representative with us today, Mr. Jason, is it Reinwald?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, the owner. Please join us with any comments that you'd like to make. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Cool. I'm Jason. My brother Alex. We own Fox's Deli in Brighton and the Bagel Shop by Fox's on Park Ave. So this is going to be our new wholesale hub for all of our baking needs for both companies. It'll be kosher as well. So we'll be focusing on bagels first and foremost, but then we'll be doing breads, pastries, all that kind of good stuff. There will be a small retail section up front, but a majority of the space is for wholesale contracts.
Excellent. Any questions?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead, Norm.
Where did Fox's Deli originate? Where's
Joseph Avenue.
Where?
Oh.
Joseph Avenue,
Joseph
Monroe
Avenue?
Avenue, and then where we are now.
New York
Yeah.
City.
Well, yeah, New York City
No,
first.
Bob saying
Here,
Rochester,
yeah,
right.
Joseph Avenue,
Yeah.
yeah. I think 41 if we moved there, yeah.
And where'd you leave Joseph Avenue?
Oof, that was well before us.
50, I think we went to Monroe Avenue 55, 56, and then up Monroe Avenue 12 corners in the 60s, and then to its current location 74.
75, yeah.
75.
Well, I'm just being a little nostalgic because my mom and dad used to get pastrami's from
Yeah.
Fox's
Yeah,
on
right.
Joseph Avenue back in
Howard still does,
yeah,
actually.
Howard is older than my mom and dad, so.
Not to call you out, Howard, that's all right.
No, but really, you guys are a fine establishment.
Yeah, thank you, we appreciate it.
Really do a good job.
I do have to say you guys make the best egg creams
Oh, nice.
in this region.
The
Most
Kenny
people don't know
special,
what
yeah,
they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
They are
Yeah.
good.
But New Yorkers know, and
Yeah,
I miss them. So
wonderful.
being able to go and get it there is wonderful.
Thanks, Howard.
How many locations did you say there are right now?
This will be our third.
Third. Oh.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I heard 75.
in total, yeah.
Okay,
Not yet.
Excellent.
Not yet, technically four. We'll have to have the JCT.
If you like a pastrami sandwich.
I love a pastrami sandwich. I've tried to get over there before, but I didn't know the hours, and so I think I came after hours that one time, so.
Saturdays too.
Saturdays,
Yeah.
okay, excellent.
We were just there last week. They got great sandwiches.
Thank you.
You can tell, I don't think you're gonna have a problem getting.
Very nice.
Sorry.
Long-standing family business.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you guys
Appreciate you guys, yeah,
keeping
thank
it in the family and growing in Minor County.
All right, so moving on, let's see here. A public hearing was not needed for this, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I just have a
Oh, yeah,
couple questions
yeah,
for you,
sure,
if you don't mind,
sorry.
before you leave. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes.
Do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
No,
Okay, and are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. The secret process for this project has been completed, so at this time I'll entertain a motion and a second for an inducement and final resolution approving the sales tax exemption.
So move.
Moved by Norm, seconded by Rhett. I'll call the vote. Norm?
Yes.
Okay, great. Lisa?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
Ray?
Yay.
Is Miguel on the line or is he not?
He's not here.
Okay. Miguel is excused, and it's a yes for me. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
No, that's all right. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
We should order from them one time.
We should.
Okay.
We go there
That's
every few weeks, we have a meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Are they?
New York, my days are New York City days.
Oh,
Corned beef after.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, moving on, the second project that we have for consideration today is 759 Park Avenue Partners LLC. Anand, would you do us the pleasure of reading the project summary, please?
Certainly.
Thank you.
759 Park Ave Partners LLC proposes the renovation of the former Park Avenue Hospital and Yeshiva Talmudic School located in the city of Rochester, Park Avenue neighborhood into a 40,000 square foot, approximately 45 room hotel, restaurant, and spa. This facility is considered retail under section 862 of the General Municipal Law, and in order to qualify for benefits, the applicant has demonstrated that a significant number of patrons from outside the economic development region will travel to the area and stay at the facility. This $29 million project is seeking a custom real property tax abatement supported by the city of Rochester, a mortgage recording tax exemption, and sales tax exemption. The project is expected to create 58 new FTEs over the next 3 years, and the benefit to incentive ratio is 24 to 1.
All right, great. Thank you, Anna. I believe we have a project representative with us today, Mr. Charles, is it Sarakovsky? Sarankowski, I apologize, and Mr. Jonathan Swan?
Yep.
Would you please join us at the podium, if you don't mind, and feel free to let us know what you like about yourselves and your project.
How long do you have?
Listen, as much time as you want.
John and I are friends and colleagues that operate a total of 13 or 14 restaurants and bars in the city of Rochester. Mine include notable ones such as Good Luck and Cure at the Public Market. And with partners, Radio Social. John has...
I'm hyper-focused on Park Avenue, right down the street from the hotel. I've got Burns, Leonore's across the street, Dorado, Rue, Pearson's, and Bevy, which is brand new, and just about adjacent to the property we're talking about.
So lots of business and investment in our city, in our community since 2008, 2006 maybe, when we started opening things. And we become friends, and we decided to collaborate on this project. We have a great team of people behind us with specialization in finance and development. And we're taking a big swing at something cool for the city and a reimagination of the building that's on Park Ave for a 45-room hotel that, as you said, would include a restaurant and most likely a spa, maybe a pool. This is a press board, right? Maybe a pool. Maybe a pool. And certainly be programmed for events of all kinds to help draw, meaning the spa and the events business would be amenities built into the business plan or concept in order to attract as much occupancy as possible.
Awesome. We'll open up for questions. I have the first. Can you change the reservation policy at Burns to accept reservations? Please. Okay, no pressure at all. No, listen, we eat there all the time, I think it's great. You know, that was a joke, by the way. But, any questions for the, any questions for the team? From anyone? Go ahead.
How did you guys connect with Rufus and Bill Tehan?
Okay, so, I think it was, my first introduction it actually started with Dan Goldstein.
Okay.
He's one of the ownership party, obviously, and he was the one that introduced us to Rufus and Dan. Rufus and Bill. And I think that they've had a long relationship.
Okay.
I've known Rufus Judson for nearly 20 years, just as a regular of my restaurant.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I imagine that's probably a project strength for you guys, having, you know, someone like, you know, Pike behind you. I imagine there'll be the GC. It's gonna be on board, and maybe someone else here? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's certainly, I think, a benefit.
This is a strange position for us to find ourselves in. We're the shake hands and how to make drinks guys. We're in these meetings sometimes. We're learning a lot as we're in them. But yes, that's definitely a strength of the project, is we feel one of the partners knows how to bring it over the goal line, even in terms of building it, because it's quite a large scale.
Well, listen, restaurants are extremely important to the viability and long-term viability of hotels. So, you know, I wouldn't cut yourself short. So, I mean, I think the value that you all bring to the table is it's huge as well. I think you're all lucky to have each other as partners. So, any more questions? No? Okay. There was a public hearing that was held on May 18th, is that correct? Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Were there any comments?
No comments.
No comments, okay. If that's a question, I just have a couple of questions for you all. Either one, feel free to answer. Are you aware of our local labor policy?
Yes.
Okay. Do you anticipate any local labor exemptions at this time?
No.
Okay, and are you aware that any exemptions need to be requested 45 days in advance?
Yes.
Great. The secret process for this project has been completed, and so at this time, I'll entertain a motion and a second for inducement of final resolution approving a sales tax exemption, partial mortgage recording tax exemption, and a partial real property tax abatement.
I'll make a motion.
All right, moved by Lisa, seconded by Norm. At this time, I'll call the vote. Norm?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Brian's not here. Lisa?
Yes.
Rhett?
Yay.
Ray?
Yay.
So yes for me. All right, great. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Have a great day.
Very good as well.
Yes, Howard?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Very good. Love hotels.
Yeah, hotels.
I think having a spot is so important. It's 5 days at a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good for 2030 PGA coming up. We need better hotel inventory,
Yeah,
more
that's
stock,
for sure.
and,
Have you been out to Costco and seen that hotel? The thing is,
oh, it's
Yeah,
gone.
it's just
gorgeous.
Yeah.
And if for nothing else, that was going to be a vacant building. I think the school that was there was going to leave, and so if not for someone being willing to come in and repurpose it, that's just another kind of vacant, dilapidated building on Park Ave, which no one needs.
yeah.
Okay, moving on, project modifications. It seems as if we have 4, the first of which is Roxbury Dome Partners LLC, which is a pilot modification. No representative. Anna, is there a motion? Do we need to read the project summary?
Oh, yes, I'll read a project
Sure.
summary, and some late breaking news is that we
Sure.
do have a project representative, just in case there are
Oh,
questions.
great.
Betsy
Okay.
Brugg, who's a partner at Woods Oviatt, is here with us. She's working with the owner of the site and the town of Henrietta on this project.
Okay.
At the request of the town of Henrietta, the applicant is seeking approval to extend the real property tax abatement for the Dome Marina property through 2028 at 90% abatement. Originally approved in October 2016, the Dome has operated as a venue for sports, entertainment, and trade shows and serves as an emergency shelter. The town of Henrietta is planning to purchase the Dome from the current owner and has requested the pilot agreement be extended and amended until funding is in place.
Great. You said there is a project representative?
Yes, Betsy Brugg is here, just in case anyone has questions. I think it's a great outcome for the Dome, and certainly might be of interest to the board to hear a little bit more. If Betsy, I'm not sure if you want to add some color commentary
I don't
to.
have a whole lot to add, but I actually just came from the town of Henrietta, so they are aware that this is really something driven by the town of Henrietta. The town is gonna, they would like to acquire the dome. They are in the process of securing funding, and they're making good progress on that. They've already secured some funding. You know what you might find interesting? They've secured some funding to do improvements to the road network around the dome.
Oh, thank you.
So that you actually,
That's great.
they are planning actually to acquire the dome, and as part of that project, they're gonna have space to develop housing, including some affordable housing that the town is trying to incentivize and bring over to the dome area. So there's a lot of moving pieces in it.
Do you know where the funding is? Is it like state, or are they issuing bonds?
Well, I think they got the bricks, is that what they got?
There's an effort, I
They're gonna
think,
realign
to get a
the
state
Fair
grant.
Avenue.
State grant, okay.
Yeah, and they are in the process of, trying to get some both state and federal dollars for the dome acquisition.
That's great.
And I'll just weigh in because I know a little bit, because my son goes to gymnastics in the town of Henrietta, but the recreation program in the town has been really successful. So I think the vision is for the town to expand their recreation programs into the Dome Arena and also offer space to other local nonprofits.
Yes, I don't know if I can say, but they've got some big things lined up already, for the dome, not just for, to invite the public into the dome, but the town needs there's some workshop space that they're gonna use and some storage space, and they really need the space, so they've got some other plan on the works.
The dome is an amazing asset for not just Henrietta, but the entire community. I know during COVID, that's where I went to get my vaccination, and it was amazing to have that there, and the ability to handle so many folks. So having that space there is great, and Betsy, knowing that you're involved with it, I know it's gonna be a positive project.
Thanks, yeah, it's exciting.
Sure.
I have an interesting dome story. Many people don't know this, but inside the dome, there is, in the cement floor, a setup for an ice rink. And because it didn't kind of work out, they put an ice rink in the back of the building, and my hockey team, Pittsburgh Mendon Viking hockey team, practiced there back in the day. No heat. But it was it is a very nice facility. And
Well, it is, I believe, it's a wood framed dome. I believe it's the only structure of its kind.
It's wood?
Yeah,
Really?
I believe so. Now I'm on the record saying something I remember from years ago, but I do believe that is a very unique construction that is not easily found.
Well, it's great that someone that has resources, they can put funds into the entire facility, the entire parcel. Plus the roads are kind of rough.
The roads are rough. It's had such an interesting history, though. I mean, high school graduations, concerts, the Lancers played there for a while. It just had such an interesting, they tried to do pickleball, which didn't go anywhere. So it just has such an interesting, if you look at the history of the dome, it's amazing. It's just so wonderful to get it to the town now where it can be continually to be taken care of. So it's a great project.
Yeah, for the town of Henrietta, I think has a lot of foresight into the planning and thoughts for the dome for the future and the housing.
Well, it's important. I mean, if you look around the country, there are a lot of these large facilities that go into dilapidation and disrepair, and it's really blight on the community. And so, I think everyone deserves a note of commendation for investing in it and keeping it, moving forward and operational. So that's.
I know the owner of the dome, Roxbury Dome, is really enthusiastic and has been working very closely with the town to make sure that the dome is saved and successful for the future. So.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Okay. Well, at this time, is there a motion and a second to approve an amendment to the real property tax abatement provided under the existing Colony Agreement?
Motion.
Moved by Ray, seconded by Rhett. Any conversation, any discussion? No, there being none. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any objections? No abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
Betsy.
All right, project number 2 is Rent Square LLC for a sales tax extension. No representative, but would you please read us the project summary, please, Anna?
Wren Square LLC is redeveloping a building located at 917 North Clinton Avenue in the city of Rochester. Originally approved in August of 2023, the project includes reconstruction and renovation of the existing building into a multi-tenant mixed-use facility with the ground floor serving as retail and studio space and the second floor consisting of 4 residential apartments. The applicant is now requesting an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2027, as construction was deferred to allow the Harper's Corner development to conclude, ensuring project timeliness did not conflict.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Anna. At this time, is there a motion and a second to approve an extension of the sales tax exemption through December 31st, 2027? Moved by Brad. Need a second, seconded by Lisa. Any discussion? No? Okay, there being none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any objections? No abstentions? Motion carries. All right. Okay, moving on, project number 3, 39 Jetview Drive LLC. This is for a new tenant. Anna, would you please read the project summary, please?
Certainly.
Thank you.
39 Jetview Drive LLC, a real estate holding company, received board approval in April 2021 for the construction of 52,500 square feet of a building in the town of Chi-Lai. 5,000 square feet was to be used as a warehouse for a related entity, Sidor Optics, and the remaining space was to be leased out to a tenant to be identified. The board approved multiple extensions of the sales tax exemption due to construction delays. The applicant is now seeking approval for a new tenant, O'Connell Electric Company, a commercial electrical contracting company who plans to occupy the entire building.
All right, thank you, Anna. At this time, I'll entertain a motion and a second to approve a sublease at 39 Jetview Drive to O'Connell Electric Company as tenant. All right, moved by Red, seconded by Ray. Any discussion? Okay, there being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any objections? No abstentions? All right, motion carries. Project number 4, Home Leasing LLC. This is an ownership change. Would you please read the project summary, please?
Home Leasing LLC intends to transfer its member interests into 2 entities, each with its own properties with real property tax abatements. Penfield Square Associates LLC in the town of Penfield and Taylor Square Associates LLC in the city of Rochester. The purchaser of the member interests is Contour Holdings 3 LLC. The applicant is requesting consent of the new ownership structure. Penfield Square Associates, originally approved in February 2019 for a shelter rent property tax abatement, consists of 113 affordable apartments. Taylor Square Associates, originally approved in August 2021 for a shelter rent property tax abatement, mortgage recording tax exemption, and sales tax exemptions, consists of 134 affordable apartments and 77,000 square feet of manufacturing space for Rochester Tailored Clothing, a producer of fine menswear. This was formerly Hickey Freeman.
That sounds great. Thank you, Anna. There is no representative, and so at this time, I'll entertain a motion and a second to authorize the transfer by Home Leasing LLC of its interest in Penfield Square Associates LLC and Taylor Square Associates LLC to Contour Holdings 3 LLC. Moved by Brett, seconded by Lisa. Any discussion?
The strength of this relationship was having a company like Home Leasing be part of it. And that's why I think everyone gravitated towards that, because it was a huge investment at that factory at the corner of Avenue D in North Clinton. And now with them not being there, I mean, you know, it's just gonna just fizzle. That's just a question.
The communication we received from Home Leasing, so they're selling much of their portfolio to Penrose, which I think is headquartered in Philadelphia, a reputable company. I think their decision to sell to Penrose was rooted in that company's purported commitment to taking care of the assets and maintaining the employment here locally. So, but that's a valid question.
Yeah, and I think that Home Leasing is, you know, clearly they're local, but just in terms of, I think, national scale and, you know, technical expertise. I don't know if they're really getting much larger or better than Penrose. Like Penrose is a huge player in the affordable housing space and well-known, I think, a well-known entity to a lot of people. So I don't think we're trading down in expertise. I won't say that we're trading up just out of respect for home properties, but just in terms of their ability to manage properties, I don't think it gets much better.
Okay. I just wanted to, send it out there, because it's been a major anchor in that part of the community for over a century. And I know Schumer came to town, everyone came to town when that was basically sold to basically Hickey Freeman and Hart Chapter Marks at the time. And being able to keep that viable was so important.
Absolutely.
So.
No, good. So that's a good point. Well noted. Any more discussion or questions before I call the vote? Sure. Okay. In the case, I'll call the vote one by one. In this case, then? No. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any objections? No abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. Great. That's it for the project modifications. Moving on, we have the governance committee report. Nora?
Do you want a summary or?
This summary.
Send that to you, sorry.
Okay, that's okay. We met on the April 28th to continue discussion on making changes to the UTEP. The committee discussed the process of communicating the changes to affect taxing jurisdictions. It was important that we engage in some way or form to all the local taxing jurisdictions, so they're on board and they understand what we're doing, and if they have any comments, they have an opportunity to discuss that. The committee also discussed adding new housing abatement schedules, as well as some adjustments to the existing commercial abatement schedules and job creation requirements. The staff will present an updated document at the next committee meeting. Any questions, comments, concerns?
We'll work on scheduling the next meeting.
Yep. Do it on a day that my wife has a lot of yard work for me.
All right. Let's see, taking good time here. So moving on, we have the item K, which is the board evaluation summary. No action is needed here, but I'll note that the board should review the board evaluation summary and discuss if anything stands out or needs to be acknowledged. This form is submitted to the authority budget office. Anything else with respect to that?
No, it was very good. Everyone agreed or somewhat agreed with all of the various criteria. The criteria are laid out by the authority's budget office, and the same questions are asked of every public authority board throughout the state of New York. So we're glad to see that everybody is on the same page with regard to COMIDA's effectiveness. And I suppose we could do a better job of setting clear and measurable performance goals for the authority, because it looks like there were 3 agree, 3 somewhat agree, but in any case, I like to get an A+ on everything, so if there are opportunities here for us to improve anywhere, that was the one where 3 people agreed, 3 somewhat agreed. I think we're still waiting on 1 response from 1 final board member, but in any case, I'm proud to announce that our Paris report was submitted, and thank you to Allison and Robin and the whole staff here for getting that to the ABO.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, moving on, we have item L, the executive director report. I'll turn over to you.
Thank you, Truman. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about the Wadsworth building in the town of Arundecoit. The board might recall some interest several months ago. St. Anne's reached out to the county because the federal government was looking to get rid of former armory building in the town of Arundecoit, just a large albatross of a building that's adjacent to St. Anne's facility in Arundecoit, and through the federal disposition, their procedures with regard to getting rid of the asset. First and foremost, the government was looking for other government partners to step in and take acquisition of this facility. And, I won't get into the weeds on how, that all kind of went down, but the St. Anne's expressed interest to the county, hey, Monroe County, can you help us try to take acquisition of this facility such that down the road, St. Anne's can perhaps expand into it or onto its premises. I believe there are 5 acres. So the county executive reached out to COMIDA and asked if we could kind of kick the tires on this opportunity. At first, St. Anne's was gonna see if they could put a bid on it, going down kind of a public health route, but that didn't end up passing muster. So the COMIDA interest in the facility ended up being more straightforward. And so we've been in communication with St. Anne's and the General Services Administration through it all. And there's a need to get an appraisal on the fair market value of the building. So the GSA and COMIDA independently of one another getting appraisals. And then the long-term vision here would be that we would acquire the facility at fair market value, and then St. Anne's would purchase it from COMIDA at cost. So where we are in that process right now is appraisal. So we sought quotes from different appraisal companies, and I'm gonna let Robin kind of take it from here, because she's been in communication with GSA and the appraisal company. And also Allison got to actually visit the site and walk through it with the GSA folks.
Yeah, so where we are right now is the appraisal just happened, we haven't gotten the results back yet, but ultimately it's whatever the GSA appraisal comes back at is considered the fair market value. Our appraisal is just like a confirmation, if you will, like that they're close.
Do we have an opportunity to include, overhead and transaction costs?
Great question, and we asked the same question, and the answer was blurry. Yes, it's a good way to describe it.
We'll get back to you.
Well,
We are pushing for that.
on these types of facilities, they do a lot of things that we should really do our due diligence on in regards to phase 1s and phase 2s. And that is something, I don't know if GSA is gonna do that, or it's gonna, phase 1 environmental, phase 2 environmental.
If there's any environmental contamination, once we're in the chain of title,
We're
we're
on it.
responsible.
Yeah. So, I know, that there are other former armories that, because they were federal, at the time they did things that, they weren't in compliance with state and local requirements. And when they change hands, they have to be in compliance. And once it changes hands into us, we become
That's a good point.
the people
Thank you.
who are responsible. So, just a tidbit.
This was built, I think, in the 50s. I don't know the date offhand, but as far as I understand, it would need to be demolished entirely. And St. Anne's is interested in constructing affordable senior housing on the site. But you're absolutely right, environmental due diligence would need to get underway, and it may very well be that we have to pivot because we don't want to put the authority in that position. But we'll keep the board informed every step of the way.
I know the facility, and I know people who were assigned to that facility, so.
Okay.
Well, Rachel, how would we normally handle that? Would it just be like a indemnification or something like that from St. Anne's?
We can be indemnified. It doesn't really, we won't be able to relieve our liability at all, but we can be indemnified.
Yeah.
Whether St. Anne wants to take that on is another question entirely.
Sure.
Yeah.
And y'all get a phase 1, and if needed, a phase 2 prior to closing, so we'll understand the magnitude of the risk prior to moving forward. Okay, all right, great. That's a good point. Anything else?
Just looking at the dashboard, I wanted to flag that fees year to date were at $1,137,886. Last year, year end was $1,277,702. So we're moving ahead at a healthy clip here in terms of our project activity. And I think that has to do with in part, our openness to housing projects. So that's a good signal for COMIDA. And just because this has come up in previous board meetings, I wanted to point out that we're working proactively with Bonadio, with both Greg and Alex on some strategic financial planning. They put some really robust numbers together for us, looking ahead at a 3-year window at the financial picture for COMIDA as we take into consideration the future of the Workforce Development Fund, the county executive seeking for COMIDA to actively pursue site development opportunities, and also as we kind of look at previous year's project activity and try to forecast future project activity, so we can come up with, we can try to finesse the crystal ball a little bit. So we'll be working with all of you to share some of that information as we continue to work with Alex and Greg, and Truman, I'll share some of that data with you in one of our check-ins. And also we're in tandem with all of this as we look at updating the UTEP. We want to revisit our fee schedule, which hasn't been looked at in a number of years. So in the interest of bringing in more revenue to the agency, modernizing our approach to levying fees, I think is warranted. And also looking at following through once and for all on the call to action from the board around staff compensation. So we'll be reporting back to all of you about that. And then just to flag this and put it on your radar, looking ahead at the June meeting, it's possible we will revisit the county's interest in COMIDA taking part in the establishment of an airport incentive type program. And this would not be an annual ongoing commitment or contribution. It would be a seed, first dollars in. And you might recall that Andy Moore and some others had come before the board to kind of socialize the concept in recent months. So stay tuned for that. Are there any questions from anyone?
Ray, could I ask you a question? Sure. With the money we put into the trades, has there been an uptick in
through the track program? Is that what it is? Yeah, absolutely. That's had a great, just positive outlook through the community of people getting, into we're lifting the veil on the building trades essentially, right? We used to be kind of the best kept secret in the world. We're putting that out, in particular to the more underimpoverished communities, and getting a lot of good candidates that come through that program, and they're pretty much turnkey, ready to go to work. They get an opportunity to look at the various trades and kind of, everyone, you walk in the door and like, I want to be this, but then you get on the job and you're like, oh, I didn't know what that one thing was, and then you go and try that. So it really sheds a better light on it, and we've had great success with that program. So I believe they have a graduation next week as well for the next cohort. So it's going very well.
Thank you.
The importance of trades, I think, is going to only increase exponentially over the next, this is my opinion, just given the advent of AI and how that's changing entry-level jobs into the workforce with kids graduating from school. I think the availability of jobs for, recent college graduates is going to probably erode over time. But, we always have a need for skilled tradesmen. And I know that oftentimes that's sometimes a bottleneck with even being able to, get a tradesman, just given the backlog of work that they actually have. And so, I think that's critically important work, and I'm just happy to see that we are involved with it. They're great paying jobs too, so you can make a great living, support a family.
Tuition's all paid through, big trade into the agreement, so yeah, they come out zero debt. Most of them, a multitude of our apprentices own homes midway through their apprenticeship programs. So I mean, it's great positive views in that regard.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so no action needed there. At this time, I've been advised that we need to move into executive session. And so I'll ask if there is a motion and a second to enter into executive session under section 105D of the Public Officers Law to discuss the litigation strategy in connection with 1733 Ridge Road condemnation. Okay, moved by Red, seconded by Moore. Okay, all in favor? motion carries.
You're good.
Motion to adjourn?
No, now we have chair discussion items, there are none, and so now, motion to adjourn.
Move.
Alright, moved by Norm, seconded by
You
Brett,
wanna
or do you
wait?
need to,
till
can we talk
okay.
about it afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay,
Second.